the challenge here is I want you to sing along. Some of the songs you won't know, so it's going to be challenging. I'll try to get rid of those, bang, bang, bang. But some of them are really beautiful. But some of them, I'm going to be doing maybe 4 or 5 songs, not a lot. We're not talking about an endless night here. Don't worry. Set the stage properly. But all of them relate to Shavuot in some way. Chag Sameach, everybody. We're coming down the home stretch on the Omer.
We're right there.
And so this is our pre-Leil Tikkun Shavuot, right? So we will. So the challenge, as I said, is that you can't sing along and that we can all hear each other. This is the major challenge of the pandemic for Jews who sing in communal singing. It's really been a terrible challenge. But okay, so I ask you when you can to join me. Maybe I can teach some things so that we can all sing together. Open your hearts.
We can try.
That's all I can ask. So we're celebrating Shavuot, and Shavuot is so interesting because, I don't know, this is one of those holidays that started as a harvest festival and then became the giving of the Torah. But back in the ancient days, the harvest festival was preeminent. It was really not until later that this became known as the giving of the Torah. And the harvest was known as the Bikurim. This is the first fruits. Bechor is the firstborn, and the Bikurim were the first fruits that were harvested in the season by the Israelites, and they had to wrap them, and there was a special way to celebrate them and to bring them with great festivities to the temple. This was done by the entire community. There was some grapes and wheat, all kinds of fruits. Maybe Alex can share the image. Is that up there? I didn't see it. Just the baskets of fruit coming from all over the land, coming to Jerusalem. There you go. And these fruits, we know this tradition because on Pesach we say the formula that was said when these fruits were when they were brought to Jerusalem. That's my father was a wandering Aramean. You know, we all know that. And so the idea of the offerings was very interesting because it connected people's livelihood, their private activities, their farming, with the national identity, with the temple. And so it was interesting because when Israel was founded, Rav Kook, the chief rabbi, saw this as an opportunity to unify the country. So in the early days, the kibbutzim, of course, were all agrarian, and so many of the tradition was instilled even in modern Israel to bring, not to bring them to the temple, of course, but to bring fruits and vegetables and first crop to the Jewish National Fund, to make donations to the Jewish National Fund. So I found that this was a kind of a social action project that Rav Kook instituted. And I like it. I mean, I think it's an opportunity for people to express their gratitude. And I wonder how we can do that today. I'm not really, I really don't have a sense of what would be our first fruits today. You know, maybe it would be our first breaths in the morning, or our first steps in the morning, or maybe something more material. I don't know if anybody has any thoughts about how we might do that now that we're not in an agrarian society. So the song I'm going to share with you is a song of the Bikurim. Maybe you'll know this. This, like many of the early songs, that's fine. Like many of the early songs in Israel, this one became a very, very, very popular dance. And so many people know it as that dance. Salenu al ktefenu. Baskets, our baskets are on our shoulders. And it's interesting because the words here, our baskets are on our shoulders, crowns on our heads, and we're accompanied by the flutes, which was actually the tradition in the ancient days to be accompanied by the flutes, and big celebration. So I guess I just want to, I invite you to think of it in terms of a harvest moment. We're seeing the gray days turn to sunshine, and we hear the music as a dance for us. We let our spirits dance. Maybe you know it. Let's see. Salenu aktefenu rashenu aturim miktsod haaretz banu hevenu. Does that sound familiar? Mi Yehuda, Shomron, mi ha'emek, min ha'emek ha'galil, panu derech lanu, bikurim itanu, ha-ha-ha-batof, halal b'chalil, ha-ha-ha-batof, halal b'chalil, salenu aktefenu, shenu aturim, mitzod ha'aretz banu hevenu bikurim, mi Yehuda, Shomron, min ha'emek ha'galil, panu derech lanu, bikurim itanu, ha-ha-ha-batof, halal b'chalil, ha-ha-ha-batof, halal b'chalil. Does that bring you back to early Israel days? I think so. So, we get to the Torah. The Torah is all about Shavuot, right? It's funny because there's no language directly in the Torah that links Shavuot to the Torah, but the rabbis in the Talmud tie it to a specific verse, which is a little bit cryptic, but from the days of the Talmud on, Shavuot became inextricably linked to the Talmud. To the Torah. And of course, we celebrate Shavuot by reading the Ten Commandments. The major things that we associate with Shavuot are the Torah itself. The giving of the Torah, the giving of the law. We celebrate the reading by reading the Ten Commandments. We eat dairy the night before because there's no law yet, so we have to wait until the next day to have meat. It's kind of a silly thing, and of course, the tradition is to stay up all night and study Torah. So I thought it would be nice, because we don't get this opportunity, to sing these familiar melodies that we all miss so much as we can't be in our sanctuary and reading from the Torah. Alex, you want to come to the next slide? Join me, okay? Eitz Chaim hi, l'machazikim ba, v'tomcheha me'usha, deracheha, darchei noam, l'chod netivoteha, Hashivenu Adonai Erechavina Shuva Chadesh Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu Alex, I think we need to mute. People should sing, but we should mute. Eitz Chaim hi, מאושר דרכיה, דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיה, שלום השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה, חדש ימינו כקדם. That takes us back, huh? Well, okay, take a look at this image. This is an image of the Sinai Desert. I guess I want you to give a moment just to look at the image and see what it evokes in you. This is where the Torah was given. So the rabbis ask, why was it given in the desert? It is said that revelation happens in the context of water, fire, or desert. And what's common about these three things, water, fire, and desert? I would say nobody owns any of them. Desert is a kind of a metaphor for openness. To be a student of Torah, you have to be open. You have to be open to something way beyond your capacity to understand. And when I think about the desert and the times I've been in the desert, it's a little bit like a meditative state. You have to surrender yourself to it. There's a kind of expansiveness and simplicity at the same time. You surely become aware of our own insignificance. And of course, the desert is not a home. It's a place where people wander, but there are not towns. Now it's a different story, but when it's a desert, it's a place of going, not a place of staying. It's a place of wandering. So I'm going to share a song with you. This is another old Israeli song, Orcha Bamidbar. It's written by the same David Zahavi wrote also Eli, Eli. So this is another beautiful song that David Zahavi wrote. He set it to a poem by Yaakov Fishman. And I guess this is going to be just a moment to reflect. And I guess I ask you to consider what it is to be in the desert with the endless sun and sand. Maybe you want to close your eyes and only hearing, of course, footsteps, your own footsteps, and maybe your own breath also. I encourage you to read the words in the English. bechol vachol yatziv midbar lelo meshol orcha ora dumam naeh kidmut chalom sham mufla utzlil oleh yored katsuv gmalim posim benofatsuv linlan linlan ze shir handod shatok vaset shatok utzot orcha ora dumam naeh kidmut chalom sham mufla utzlil oleh yored katzov gmalim posim benofatsuv linlan linlan ze shir hanedot shatok vaset shatok utzot. How's everybody doing? All right?
Nice.
It was
So
beautiful.
this is a beautiful, thank you. This is a beautiful portrait by Chagall of the main characters in the book of Ruth. Naomi, the mom, with her two daughter-in-laws, Orpah and Ruth. The story of Ruth is amazing. It's so full of love and so full of chesed, loving kindness bestowed on so many people. But I want to just talk about one aspect of it. That aspect is the otherness of it. Ruth and Orpah are both Moabites. They're not Israelites. And this is a magical kind of model for us in how we approach others. And we all have challenges with others. I mean, I live in New York City. It's filled with others. My wife is Spanish speaking. That's other in some way for me. I guess I want to encourage you to think in terms of how this, how we can be one with others at a time when sometimes, like now, the other is not even visible to us. As we contain ourselves in our homes, the other almost disappears. The very, very famous verse in Ruth is the setting for this song. When Naomi urges Ruth to go back home, Ruth says to her, "Don't urge me to leave you, to turn back and not to follow you. For wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried." The song that I'm going to share with you was written by a woman named Shoshana Jedwab. Shoshana and her, I don't know if it's a partner or a wife, Rabbi Jill Hammer, are the founders of the Kohenet Hebrew Priestess Institute. If you've not heard of the Kohenets, I hope you can take a moment during the next few days or weeks, whenever you can, to look into what they're doing. They are empowering women in Judaism in a way that has never happened before. It's quite marvelous. It's quite out there. And it's not for everybody, but they've developed a curriculum that's women-based, and learning and practices that are women-based. And they're ordaining, they've ordained dozens, over the last 10 years, they've ordained dozens of Kohenets, priestesses. So this next song is Shoshana's take, shall we say, on the book of Ruth. Now here, I encourage you to sing along with me. This is not hard. You'll get it immediately. And I think, I sometimes, when I get a song in me, I sometimes hear it and it's so simple that I think, that's so simple. It's too simple. But in this case, I think you'll find that the simplicity will grow on you if you allow it. So try singing with me. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you lie, I will lie, beloved. Where you lie, I will lie. Where you lie, I will lie, beloved. Where you lie, I will lie. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. Your divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go, refugee. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, refugee. Where you go, I will go. Where you lie, I will lie, refugee. Where you lie, I will lie. Where you lie, I will lie, refugee. Where you lie, I will lie. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. Your divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go, Mother Earth. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, Mother Earth. Where you go, I will go. Where you lie, I will lie, Mother Earth. Where you lie, I will lie. Where Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go, children. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, children. Where you go, I will go. Where you lie, I will lie, children. Where you lie, I will lie. Where you lie, I will lie, children. Where you lie, I will lie. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go, ancestors. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, ancestors. Where you go, I will go. Where you lie, I will lie, ancestors. Where you lie, I will lie. Where you lie, I will lie, ancestors. Where you lie, I will lie. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. How's everybody doing?
That was beautiful, Jack.
Thanks,
That
John.
was beautiful.
Yeah.
Very folksy.
Very folksy.
We need a banjo and a dulcimer and perhaps a Jew's harp and I don't know what else.
Ukulele?
Ukulele for sure. Yep.
On the other hand, so
And a
relevant.
washboard.
What do they say? Because it, especially right now with COVID, where I saw, I forget if it was a congressman or somebody who was saying, you know, no, it's the CEO of Merck, who was like, we can't do this without each other. There's only one way through this. My people have to be your people, and your people my people. That's the only way we're gonna live, make it through.
That's it.
Hey, you people are still my people, just saying.
Hey, beautiful.
We are so happy
So
about that.
Me too.
Kate?
Yeah,
Oh, baby. So nice to hear your
people
voice.
are still my people, especially you.
I love it. I love the Shavuot flowers, Kate.
Those are birthday flowers, my friend.
We'll take them. We'll take them as celebration. They're happy birthday then.
Thank you.
Okay, one more. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Ready or not? Here we go. So let me tell you a little bit about this. So this text is probably not familiar to everybody. I mean, some of it is, obviously. I mean, you can see that. Baruch Hu Eloheinu shebranu lichvodo. Blessed is God who created us in His glory and His honor. Right? V'hivdilanu min hatoim, separated us from the ones who are astray. V'natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. That's familiar, right? So this comes actually from a prayer we say at the end of the service, of the weekday morning service. We don't say it morning on Shabbat, but we say it at the end of the weekday morning service. It's called Uva L'Tzion. It's also said on Shabbat in the afternoon, interestingly, as Shabbat is ending. So I read a drasha about this, which was so interesting, which said, in essence, that we daven, and, well, first of all, the noticeable thing about the Uva L'Tzion prayer is that it contains at the beginning, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzvaot Melech Haaretz Kvodo. So it's the Kedusha, and it's, there are there's a place in Shachrit when we say that, not during the Kedusha, and then at the end, here it comes again. And this time it's couched in Aramaic. It's not it's not surrounded by Hebrew, it's surrounded by Aramaic. So Rashi talks about the Kedusha being the sanctification of God's name and the study of Torah. And this transition from prayer, the sanctification of God's name, to no more prayer, to stopping praying, is a brutal transition if you're really praying. If you're really praying, it's hard to stop praying. It's like falling off a cliff. You're coming out of something very emotional, very deep. And so Rashi says it has to be followed by study of Torah, because study of Torah, of course, Torah is of this world. It was given in Mount Sinai in the desert, it's of this world. Prayer is of the upper world. But Torah is of this world. So at the end of the service, we do some Torah study. And it's Torah study not just for the most educated, the Chacham, the Talmud Chacham, the student of Torah, but for everybody. That's why it's in Aramaic. We know when Aramaic is used, it's usually an indication that people who are not knowledgeable of Hebrew would be reading it in those days, in the days that it was written. So at the end of this Uva L'Tzion, it actually breaks into this blessing about the Torah, which we say when we make a prayer, when we make an aliyah, right? Natan lanu Torat emet. This is the same prayer we say. So this is actually an indication that we are departing prayer and using Torah study as an opportunity to transition into our daily lives. The Torah, of course, we can carry with us in our daily lives. The prayer we keep for those moments of prayer. So this is a wonderful nigun. This is not a song I can sing for you. This is a song I must sing with you. So although you're muted, I strongly encourage. I'm going to do this. Let me just take you through the words once. Baruch Hu Eloheinu shebaranu lichvodo. Baruch Hu Eloheinu shebaranu lichvodo. Right? That's easy. Then it's v'hivdilanu min hatoyim v'natan lanu torat emet v'chaye olam nata b'tochenu. I'm going to sing it a few times. Let's see if you can pick it up and sing with me. All right? This is Eitan Katz's wonderful melody. Baruch Hu Eloheinu shebranu lichvodo. Baruch Hu Eloheinu shebranu lichvodo. Baruch Hu Eloheinu shebranu lichvodo. Baruch Hu Eloheinu shebaranu lichvodo. Is that hard? No. sheberanu lichvod. Listen now. V'hivdilanu min hatoim v'natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. V'hivdilanu min hatoim v'natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Let's do it again. V'hivdilanu min hatoim natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. One more time. V'hivdilanu min hatoim natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Okay, here we go. Baruch hu Eloheinu shebranu lichvodo. Baruch hu Eloheinu shebranu lichvodo. Hivdilanu min hatoim v'natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. V'hivdilanu min hatoim v'natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch hu Eloheinu shebranu lichvodo. Baruch hu Eloheinu shebranu lichvodo. V'hivdilanu min hatoim v'natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Thank you, everybody. Can we unmute?
That was a
Okay.
beautiful melody.
Yasher Koyach!
Yasher Koyach.
Baruch Yah, Baruch Yah. Thank you,
Amen.
everybody.
Amen,
Thanks for
amen.
joining us.
Amen, amen.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jack. Thank you,
Super.
Ooh,
everyone.
that was beautiful.
I'm so
Now I'm
glad.
feeling the spirit of
Good,
Shavuot.
good, good, good.
Yes.
Well, Shavuot is upon us. Get your blintzes ready. Right?
Forgot. Tomorrow, cheesecake tomorrow, everyone.
Tomorrow's cheesecake. Last night was blintzes.
Kate,
On
sign
plenty of
on.
dairy.
Good to see you. We're gonna learn to make Clara's special recipe of cheesecake. I'm gonna make half a recipe
Yeah.
because I have the COVID. I already have the COVID-19 on my hips.
So good
I've
to
actually
see
lost
everybody.
15 pounds.
Men are doing this. I don't know what's happening. Like every man I've talked to is losing weight. It's killing me.
Right, so I'm gonna make everyone laugh. So my wife went to the doctor today. She wasn't feeling well, nothing COVID related, something else. So we're wearing our masks, and every time she goes to the doctor, I go. We always go together. So person checks my wife in and says, "Oh, do you have an appointment too?" So I said yes, and then my wife said no because I didn't. And so then they looked at me and said, "Is he going with you?" I said, "Yeah." So my wife said, "Yeah, he always goes in with me. He's kind of like my support animal." So they said, "Okay." So wait, this is the fun. So they go, "Okay, all right, you and your son can go in."
Oh.
Now, it wasn't because my wife looks older. I told her it's because I look a lot younger.
And we'll go with that. You might want to buy some flowers.
I didn't
tomorrow.
say it. The guy at the West Med said it.
Just saying. Buy some flowers.
Kate, I'm so glad to see you.
I'm so glad to see you
We're
too.
going to need to
It's a
Zoom.
nice little break from my work day. I have to go back to work, but I thought, let me just see if I can slip it in.
So
Very nice.
glad.
Hear you and see you. It's so good to see you guys. I really miss you.
Miss you too,
Right
Kate.
back at you.
Look, you're wearing like summer. Look at us. We're all our layers
No,
are.
it's 90 degrees. It's really hot, super hot.
Super
It's
nice.
something I'm thrilled about. I'm not complaining, but houses aren't built here with air conditioning because mostly it drops 30 degrees every night. So you don't need it. But for now it's warm and I'm still in my work days. So
Where are you, Kate?
San Mateo, California, Bay Area.
Nice. Do you love it?
I do. It's hard to
Yeah.
have any new job, period, and it's hard to have a new job in synagogue leadership right this second, but but you guys know that.
They are very lucky to have you.
Oh, thank you, darling. And we're
That's
lucky
for
to
sure.
still have you. And this, makes everything possible to still be connected. So,
Right.
you're in my hearts, and to the degree that I've had well wishes and reach outs from everybody by text and email, I really appreciate it. And I, keep you in my hearts, and I follow your news, your personal Facebook newses and the PJC group. And I really feel still very much part of the community. So sending love, everybody. Be well.
Thank
Chag
you.
sameach.
So,
Up to the family.
Thank you,
Okay.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
the math,
One more,
everyone.
one nigun to take us out. One
Oh,
take
Nigun,
us out.
Nigun for Kate to take us out.
Hi, 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 one more time.
Quick question, Jack. Have you ever tried, because we did it once with the meeting where we have a Zoom, so visually, video Zoom, then put it on mute, and then audio a conference call.
Haven't tried.
Because that way you can hear, on a conference call, multiple voices can be heard at the same time, and then you see the mouths going in Zoom. It's something to try out.
Send me a link.
Yeah, no, we did it. I did it, but with another family, so we could play Pictionary. And you did it in school? Eliana did it with school, and did it work? Yeah, and it works better because you can see everybody, but then the audio works like you can have multiple, like you could sing.
Wow.
Because the phone lines can carry it.
But who's
That's
got
really
a phone?
interesting idea.
You mean the phone?
Regular, like you have a whole different, like you use the telephone for the conference call line,
Cell phones.
like cell phones or landlines even, to make, probably landlines, I mean, not landlines, but like whatever, regular phones, to make a conference call, a
We
clear
miss-
conference call.
We miss Ma Bell now,
I know.
huh?
You're saying everyone dial into the number?
Dial into a conference call number, not a Zoom number, a conference call number.
Oh.
But
We
we
can
have to
try.
test it out.
Why can't you dial into the Zoom number?
I think Zoom has the same. Are you sure it'd work?
No, but
I don't think it would work because I think it has that
We have
same
the same lag in
lag problem. But a conference calls are made for
Right.
conversation. I mean, they've been used for 20 years for conversation. Nobody's ever complained about it.
That's
worth investigating.
Yeah, so maybe we should try it out before, maybe before the,
Before
something,
this ends.
night, something, yeah.
Before the future.
And we still have to do, this is nice though, look, I mean, we're able to get together in a different way. I don't know, I think
Clara,
I feel like it shouldn't end. Like, I think it still needs to be part somehow.
Are you guys in the same room? Just different screens?
Me and Clara? No, she's downstairs.
I see.
They're socially
I'm
distancing.
downstairs watching the kids.
I
But
got you.
happy to be here.
I'm so glad to have you
Did you
here.
say watching the kids? The kids are asleep.
We hope.
Listen, you don't know my struggles, okay?
I can't imagine Eliza's asleep.
Wish me
Eliza's
luck.
not asleep.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night,
night.
everyone.
Good night.
Some,
Thank you.
thank you again,
That's all
Jack.
I have.
Thanks, Jack.